Hi, and welcome to Oh My God, They're at it live again. I I didn't because I have no idea where they are. This is the first time I'm doing this shit. So I'm pretty much sure that if you go to YouTube and go to in 5D, that's where we're at. It's not me. Yep. So we just went live on there. So yeah. I'm pretty sure we we are doing it live. Okay, so we are very much live, and this is our first time doing it live. YouTube live, which is great. Okay, this is probably so how we're going to get off of very YouTube. Much live, and in one fatal we are doing it live. YouTube live, which is great. Okay, this is probably so how we're going to get off of very much live, and in one fatal we are doing it live. Welcome to another episode of 5D Podcast. Okay, probably so we are very much live. In one fatal we are doing it live. Welcome to another episode of 5D Podcast. Okay, so we are very much live. In one fatal we are doing it live. Welcome to another episode of 5D Podcast. Okay, so we are very much live. In one fatal we are doing it live. Welcome to another episode of 5D Podcast. Okay, so we are very much live. Anyway, one fatal we are having live. Welcome to another episode of 5D Podcast. Okay, so we are very much live. Anyway, one fatal we are having live. Welcome to another episode of 5D Podcast. Okay, so we are very much live. Anyway, one fatal we are having live. Welcome to another episode of 5D Podcast. Okay, so we are very much live. Anyway, one fatal we are having live. Welcome to another episode of 5D Podcast. Okay, so we are very much live. Anyway, one fatal we are having live. Welcome to another episode of 5D Podcast. Okay, so we are very much live. Anyway, one fatal we are having live. Welcome to another episode of 5D Podcast. Okay, so we are very much live. Anyway, one fatal we are having live. Welcome to another episode of 5D Podcast. Okay, so we are very much live. Anyway, one fatal we are having live. Welcome to another episode of 5D Podcast. Okay, so we are very much live. Anyway, one fatal we are having live. Welcome to another episode of 5D Podcast. Okay, so we are very much live. Anyway, one fatal we are having live. Welcome to another episode of 5D Podcast. Okay, so we are very much live. Anyway, one fatal we are having live. Welcome to another episode of 5D Podcast. Okay, so we are very much live. Anyway, one fatal we are having live. Welcome to another episode of 5D Podcast. Okay, so we are very much live. Anyway, one fatal we are having live. Welcome to another episode of 5D Podcast. Okay, so we are very much live. Anyway, one fatal we are having live. Welcome to another episode of 5D Podcast. Okay, so we are very much live. Anyway, one fatal we are having live. Welcome to another episode of 5D Podcast. Okay, so we are very much live. Anyway, one fatal we are having live. Welcome to another episode of 5D Podcast. Okay, so we are very much live. Anyway, one fatal we are having live. Welcome to another episode of 5D Podcast. Okay, so we are very much live. Anyway, one fatal we are having live. Welcome to another episode of 5D Podcast. Okay, so we are very much live. Anyway, one fatal we are having live. Welcome to another episode of 5D Podcast. Okay, so we are very much live. Anyway, one fatal we are having live. Welcome to another episode of 5D Podcast. Okay, so we are very much live. Anyway, one fatal we are having live. Welcome to another episode of 5D Podcast. Okay, so it's gonna stop right this second, hopefully. Well, hey, I will say I spent an hour and a half trying to set up a separate stream machine because I know what's happening. I know that the audio loop is, it's probably an audio feed that I've muted, but it didn't really mute. We're working on it. I'm pretty sure it's fixed now. All right. So, anyways, yes, the drill sergeant and everything has passed, and it is very sad. Yeah. Yep, I fixed it. I know what it was. It was a mute button on the browser. Woo! No, actually, the thing is that I'm monitoring the stream here when I should be monitoring it on a laptop. But yeah, no, this is the only way I can do it. You. Oh my God. Okay. You can hear me. Yeah, there really isn't. Okay. That is very weird that y'all can't hear. Nope. I have no idea. I'm working. You can hear me fine, right? Because I'm the one streaming. Well, live podcast is awful. No. Yeah, thanks. Let's just make sure here. Well, if you want to hear the full episode of us rummaging around, it's gonna be on on iTunes. No, and also there's the delay between what I'm saying and then the live stuff. So I've set that up to be. Anyways, I will tell a story of this one time that. I don't have any e-news per se, but I will say that I did see Ready Player One, and they can't hear you, so oh, that's why. Okay, still no Joe and Clubs and Bonzi sound. I know what just happened, and I am not sorry, and I will figure it out right the fuck now. Real high. Yep, exactly. I know what happened, and it's something that happens every fucking time. All right, is there? You think I would be, but all right. Say something, you sons of bitches. Huh? It says it's working. Nope. God damn it. Really? Okay. Well. So. Oh, you stroke your beard life. Stroke it.
You at least got to say something, man. We got to do something for the people who are listening to a recorded version of this.
Yeah, well, here's the thing.
They can still hear us. That's the thing. We can talk.
The recorded can, but then it's wasted for the YouTube. I'm trying to please both audiences. I can hear you ask them to say something, so I know when to listen. Well, that's good. That's something.
That is definitely something. Nope, that's not working. So, anyways, funny story. No shit, there I was. It hailed like a mother today.
Really? The weather?
There, now I can hear them both, but a bit loud. Oh, well, fuck you.
I'll take loud. You can turn your shit the fuck down. You can just take that volume and crank it right the fuck down.
Hold on. Let's bring both of you to measurable level. There we go.
Man, now we're going to be muted again.
Yay, hail. Okay.
Yeah, we're defaulting to the weather. How's that for fucking vamping?
Actually, I did have a fun story. I did have a fun story that I was going to start telling about the hail. So have you guys seen these scooters, these electric scooters? That
are like the hoverboards?
Yeah.
No. So there's the actual electric scooters that you know how they have like the community bikes?
Yeah.
Well, now they have these community electric scooters that they're putting up all over the city.
Get fucked.
Yep, I've seen them.
Why is that bad? It's actually pretty awesome. I will say,
because we don't need to popularize the dick magnet.
They have made sure I got to the bus on time several times. I'm just saying. All right. Anyways, there's more to that story. Maybe I'll tell you later. But right now, Ready Player One, and I want Bonzi to go first because he's got a lot to say.
Oh God,
I mean, you're gonna lead with me doing this because I'm just gonna fucking tear it apart. You might want to do people who actually enjoyed it first.
Jonathan?
Yeah, actually, I did enjoy it mostly because I'd never read the book.
Yeah, this goes beyond the book. I'm barely going to touch on all the shit wrong with the book because here's what the book and the fucking movie have in common. Nothing. This was the last motherfucking airbender. They didn't get a goddamn thing right. So you go ahead and talk about your pretty special effects and whatever other bullshit you have, and then I'll be sure to shit on everything you say.
I just thought it was a good movie, period. Like, I liked the writing. I liked the visuals. I liked the whole little movie itself. I don't know. I just liked it, but I don't have a ground to stand on because I haven't read the book.
Good okay. So here's the problem with everything you said is I don't know what fucking movie you saw, but it wasn't Ready Player One. Here's the goddamn problem. A, it wasn't the book. And I went into it knowing it wasn't going to be the book. There was no way it was going to be the book. The book and the movie have nothing in common. This is Wanted and the movie. This is Avatar: The Last Airbender and the show. This is so many things that didn't even come close to hitting the mark. Really what they should have done is called it fucking video game nostalgia cash in the movie. There was no reason to buy the rights to this movie because they didn't use it. They didn't use it. Other than calling it the Oasis and a couple of character names and one name that they fucking got wrong. This is fucking Ong and Sokka all over again. The character's name is not fucking Sho. It was never his name. They never called him that in the book. That was incorrect. It was fucking wrong. It was fucking wrong. Fuck you. Fuck you, Spielberg. You shit all over a wonderful property. Here's my bigger issue. We're not going to go into technical issues yet. Here's my storytelling issue.
Sure.
And I'm not going to compare it to the book in what happens, but compare it in the sense of a feeling. The book Ready Player One was a love story to a certain time period and a certain type of nostalgia. This movie was a shitty fucking cash grab by a bunch of people who 100% had no idea what they were talking about. These people don't know about video games. They don't know about comic books. They don't know about pop culture. They just threw as many references in as they could with absolutely no substance behind it. When a reference was made in the book, it was made because A, it helped feed the plot, and B, it was done out of a general sense of love and appreciation for what that thing was. In this, it was, do you see? He had a Mortal Kombat pin on because people like that, and then he likes it, and so he's wearing it. The fucking references meant nothing to this movie. There was no point in a character being the Joker when he's in the Oasis other than going, look, did you see where we put the Joker in it? Did you? Because we did. Look at him. There was no point to it. In the book, it had meaning. When a character is playing as a certain thing, it has a fucking point. Whereas in this, it's just a fucking cash grab. It's soulless. And it goes so far as to change such a minor fucking detail. The character Kira in the book is named Kira because it's her D&D character. And in this, they soullessly changed it to, it was her gamer tag. And then they never go into it again. Her being Kira and them playing D&D together in the book meant something. It was a part of who they were as people and a part of where the story is going. And in this bullshit fucking movie, it's a casual goddamn reference for the sake of cashing in on the idea that you know what a gamer tag is. Fucking heartless. Now let's get into the fucking nitty-gritty of why this is actually a bad movie, why this is a poorly written pile of shit. This movie rides on the coincidence, and it rides on the coincidence painfully. You're telling me the top 5 players of this game all happen to live in the same city within a couple of blocks of each other? She sends out one motherfucking email, and 2 minutes later, the other top 3 players of this game are in a van together and arrived at a location, no fucking questions asked, to save the goddamn day? That's horseshit. We go into her being a part of this resistance, but there's one haptic setup and only one person who's a part of this resistance who's bothering to log into the Oasis and do anything. Why were they even there? They were literally just there to move the plot forward and give them a reason to meet up, which, for the record in the book, does not happen until the end of the book. They never meet in person. It's a big deal. He meets no one in person until the very last chapter, and in this we casually throw it out halfway through the fucking movie. This is a horrid, disgusting bastardization and capitalization on nostalgia for no reason. This is soulless. This is absolute soulless garbage cash grab. This is a shit fucking movie. The plot is completely convoluted. There are so many points in time where any character who isn't this guy could have solved these problems. Here's a big fucking spoiler for you. Tune yourself the fuck out, but honestly, don't even bother seeing it. The first puzzle is solved by driving backwards in a racing game. Go on Mario Kart right fucking now online and tell me there's not one jackassy kid who's driving the wrong way just to piss people off. This game this fucking movie that's so big on understanding gamers and gaming culture doesn't recognize that trolls are a thing. Go fuck yourself in the worst way. This is hot garbage. This is bullshit. This doesn't even know the people that it's trying to sell a movie to. You're telling me that in 5 years, no one tried to drive the course backwards? There are whole levels in Mario Kart dedicated to driving the course backwards, and all these people who spent years studying video games to learn how his mind worked never thought of trying that. We also go in and we make pains for Artemis to talk about how, oh, Parzival, you just understand the creator so well. Really? Then why does she solve more puzzles than he does? Why do we have one scene in the entire movie where he rambles off a couple of fucking facts about the creator? One scene. One. And from that one scene, we're supposed to go, oh, he does know more than anybody else. Bullshit! The fucking co-creator of the world hands out an extra life, which apparently he can do as much as he wants, and he also hates IOI, but he never bothers to help anybody until this one kid who's been dedicated to gunting for 5 years, and then just one day he decides to help because, I guess now's the time. Why? Why? He could have been helping people the whole time. He could have taken back the company for himself. He could have empowered any number of people when gunting was still popular to pop the fuck in and take it over from IOI. This kid did nothing special for 5 years, and then one day he's just like, okay, you can do it. Why? 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 He doesn't even give a motivation as to why suddenly he's so big on helping this fucking kid. It's just he just wakes up one day and is like, I guess I'm tired of this game, and then throws his fucking hat in the ring. It doesn't make sense. Then the end of the fucking movie, we bother to go into this whole thing about how, are you really him? No. Are you an AI? No. Then what are you? And then we just walk the fuck away. Without explaining any of it. It's just, what? It's just left up to us? There are plenty of movies that do the whole, we're leaving it up to you, but this didn't even build it up the whole time. Most of the time in a movie, when you're going to do the whole, oh, we're going to leave the ending up to you and you decide what it is, we at least spend a chunk of the movie going over what that thing is so you have time to form an opinion. This, we just casually rattle it out at the end of the movie and then fuck you off. It's bullshit. This is garbage. This is unwatchable shit. I will never spend another dime on this fucking movie. This movie will never be played in my home. This movie will never be played in my fucking presence. This is garbage.
Oh my God. Okay. So.
Oh, and one more goddamn thing. He's the best 11-year-old player in the world. You're telling me there's not an 11-year-old Call of Duty player who's ranking really highly? Not to mention, he's the worst player of all of them. They flat out say when he gets the first key that he had to get told by Shoto how to get the key. So what the fuck makes him a great player? Why is everyone going, you're so cool? What did he do that was cool? In the last fight, he doesn't even do anything. The only thing that character contributes to the last fight is getting grabbed by the villain and held with a fucking tentacle over his mouth. He does nothing. Nothing. Name one thing that character did. Name
one thing.
Oh, he threw a scythe and cut off the guy's arm when he was already out of ammunition. Good job, Chief. You helped when no one needed it.
Yeah, actually, I agree with the stream. I think Last Starfighter would have been a safer watch choice for you, Bonzi.
Fucking A, that movie was garbage. I was pissed. There was even funny parts. I was like, that's a funny joke. Now shut the fuck up and end this goddamn movie. I couldn't even be paid.
Wait. Did you smoke pot when you saw it?
No.
That's why. There we
go. No.
Okay, so hold on.
Plus, no Rush. Fuck you. Do you know how big of a thing Rush was in the book? And we throw one poster in the background and give one character a Rush t-shirt? We opened with Van Halen, who's never even mentioned.
Klops, all right. So he's got a lot of good points. I've read the book. I understand it. I do want to touch on those. But Klops, you didn't read the book. You just saw the movie. I want your take on this.
I don't know. I liked it. I watched it for what it was, a soulless cash grab.
But and, why did you like it?
I don't know. It pleasantly surprised me. I was just sitting there. I was like, I'm probably gonna hate this movie, and I didn't fucking hate this movie. I don't know.
She spends her whole life hiding that she has a port wine stain over her eye, and then all it takes is one person, and then all of a sudden her avatar has it on its face too. What?
I didn't even notice that part.
Option? Go fuck yourself.
I don't know. I just enjoyed it. I just liked watching it. It wasn't something that I thought was going to be very big. I didn't think that it was going to be, the next awesome movie that I'd want to watch forever and ever and constantly redo it and everything else. But it's just something that, I don't know, I just thought it was fun. I thought it was a fun movie. It wasn't very, I didn't have to explain a lot to my dad. My dad was with me. That's why I liked it. I didn't have to explain things to my dad.
Okay, so your bar is super low then.
It was so low, it was touching the ground. Okay, that's why.
So I mean, basically what you're saying is it could have been one of those cymbal monkeys clapping for 45
I love that. Actually, I love that. That's one of my favorite things.
Technically, according to Bonzi, it was a cymbal monkey.
It might as fucking well have been.
All right,
but the biggest thing I think this movie did was that it made me want to go back and read the book.
Well, you should do that.
Be prepared for a much better fucking experience that actually makes sense.
Hey, that's fine. I want it to make more sense. I just think that if a movie makes me want to go back and read the book, there's something about that movie that was good.
And if I can,
I may not be able to point it.
Grab the audiobook. The audiobook is actually done by Will Wheaton, which just sort of adds a level to it for whatever reason. Like a nostalgic icon reading a book about nostalgia just really added a level to it for me, legitimately.
Yeah, no, I mostly go through Audible for my books and stuff. I'm just saying that
do the
when a movie does that to me,
hey, you can't say names like that, man. They don't sponsor us.
Maybe they will
sponsor us. Oh, you mean Audible? I was like, why would Will Wheaton sponsor?
Why not? We said his name, right? We get $5 every time we say Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton. We need it desperately.
All right, so I did read the book. Mind you, I read it years ago. So I loved the book. I thought it was great. And I actually was really sad when a lot of people say they hate the book. They talk about, it's, this nostalgia power fantasy and all that shit. I'm like, that was what it was. And, there's a bunch of shit talking about how, it's misogynistic and all this other shit. I'm not even going to get there because it doesn't matter. It was a good book. It was a good book if you're a teenager reading the book. And I mean, I'm pretty sure I was when I read it. Anyways, I liked the movie because I liked how they displayed the Oasis. That was my favorite part. And not like Avatar per se, right? Like where it was just pretty.
It's my judgment face.
Yeah,
I'm just letting the audience know that this is my for the people listening on the podcast, I'm making a judgment face.
Yeah, he's making a judgment face. Anyways, I thought they did a good job with showing what the Oasis would look like and what it would be and all that. I thought that was good. I agree on a lot of the points. The one of the big sticking points for me was that that 1-up coin. Like, obviously,
and the way he earns it in the book actually makes more sense. Yeah. This was like, just bullshit.
He has to try super hard, have insider knowledge about the creator, and like he earns the shit out of that coin after trying for a long time.
Right. It's almost even he falls for a red herring, but the red herring pays out. In this, it was just like, yeah. The minute he flips that coin to him in the movie, my wife and I looked. So for the record, it wasn't just me. My wife hated it too. Me and my wife were sitting there through the whole movie, just head in hands, disappointed in this shit. And the minute he flipped that coin, both of us just threw our fucking hands in the air in the middle of this movie and went, "What?"
Yeah, I will agree with that. I also, actually, correct me if I'm wrong, huge spoilers for the book, but don't some of them die?
Yes, and I kept waiting for that. Not to mention, and this is kind of a segue to that spoiler. I guess you could kind of figure out who the character is. But the whole time I was waiting for that character to die, and there was a scene where you think it's going to happen, and then all of a sudden the Japanese guy knows Kung Fu in real life. And I was like, okay, so that's what we're going to do? Iron Fist is bullshit, and people are pissed off because we can't make a white guy know Kung Fu, but we can assume that every Japanese guy in a movie knows fucking Kung Fu. Okay, I'm the piece of shit here, and this movie's great. My bad.
Yeah, no, I obviously, that was a huge sticking point for me.
And not to mention, why does his giant robot have a 30-second timer, but the other two giant robots don't have a 30-second timer, and one giant robot is destroyed, but then just gets better? They blew it up, and then the next scene, it's just they're breaking shit again. Did we edit this poorly, Mr. Spielberg? Did we forget to put one scene in front of the other scene?
I will say, though, that the timer thing was in the book.
The timer thing is in the book. It's the wrong robot.
But yes, it is.
And so it made sense to me having read the book, but watching the movie, why does his robot have a 30-second timer and the other two robots don't have a 30-second timer? And bringing that up, God, you've just infuriated me again. Why the fuck is one character good at making bikes and other, like, this game has a crafting mechanic, but they didn't say, like, oh, he leveled up his crafting skill, which if you're gonna write a video game theme that hard, just say, oh yeah, my buddy Age has a really high crafting skill. Instead, they make it sound like it's some weird innate talent that the character has, like, he can just make stuff, and then it fucking works. Why? Why can't just anybody fucking do that? It's a digital fucking world, you dumb fuck. Why does it take him months to build it when you can just be like, I got it.
Yeah,
now.
So here's
it doesn't even make sense.
Here's the one thing that also really, really pissed me off. And again, I liked the movie. I didn't hate it. I liked the movie, but here's another thing. There's that scene where they, spoiler, obviously. This whole thing has spoilers. Just
spoilers. All the spoilers. Spoilers.
All right. The scene where they break her out.
Oh
my God. That whole scene was supposed to happen
so I forget all this.
Over months.
And it's not even that character. It's a totally different character.
Exactly. Like, it's supposed to happen over months, and like it's supposed to show how dedicated. Like, for some reason, this feels like they solved the Oasis puzzle over a weekend.
It took almost a year.
Yeah, it took, if not more than, but yeah.
Maybe.
It was insane, and the puzzles didn't really make sense in this one. Like,
not to mention, the book goes over why IOI has a privatized army. In this, they're just a company who has riot gear and machine guns, and no governmental body ever went like, why is a software company buying riot gear and machine guns? Like,
yeah.
Why do they have an assassin? Why does a company have an assassin?
For corporate espionage, duh.
No, shut the fuck up.
So they did hint at it in the movie, but they didn't really go into it.
No, they casually cover it in one line of dialogue.
Exactly.
And that line of dialogue is, again, any real governmental body would have been like, no.
Yeah, no.
There's that is no. Sorry, but they literally have a full riot gear army who breaks into a building and casually arrests like 15 people while armed to the teeth. Yeah. Why is a company allowed to do this?
Yeah, it again, that was shit. The interaction between the main character and the love interest is we're gonna go, because I don't know why they always have to add shit like that. Like,
no, they pulled the Man of Steel, in my opinion. It was, they went from not really liking each other to loving each other in one scene.
Yeah.
Maybe we could develop that over the course of a 3-hour movie. Maybe.
Yeah. And
maybe.
I think they really missed the point, and I think that Ogden's character was completely
shafted,
underutilized.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like,
I love Simon Pegg, and this was a fucking waste of his talent. Although he pulls off an American accent pretty good. That's good to know. Credit where credit's due. There's the one good thing is Simon Pegg's American accent was spot the fuck on.
Yeah, I will say, I didn't hate the movie, but it missed the mark. That's honestly, for me,
See, I thought that, Wanted. Like, the IOI was just the new future of the government, because
no, they're a software company. They say in the movie that they're a software company.
Right, they're not the government. Fun. They could be a government and a software company. It's just what I thought, because it was just like, oh, these guys are busting machine guns and shit. I guess they're just the government.
No, the government is still a thing. They're just a software company.
Yeah, that's why, like, the cops show up at the end to arrest them. And
that's exactly. He gets arrested by.
Yeah, I was wondering where they were when they were shanghaiing people out and like slaving.
They were in bad writing land. Not to mention, at the end, this one guy has a gun with maximum 12 shots in a crowd of people, and not one person's like, "I'm gonna stop you." They all just let him walk by and then file in behind him.
Yeah, that was all kinds
we're not going to stop you, but we're going to watch you kill this kid, and then when you do it, we're going to be real mad. What? The Pinkertons were a private company with armed guys. Yeah, but that's it. Have you seen it? It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing. Anyways, okay, so Bonzi hated it. Jonathan doesn't get it. And
ratings. Give me ratings. Pops, give it a rating.
I give it 10 out of I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about out of 10.
All right. Eduardo, rate it.
I give it 3 Halo Spartans out of 5 Halo Spartans.
Nothing.
No, out of 7.
You got to have a number rating.
Yeah, here's my number rating. Fucking 0. 0 out of 1. Okay. It wasn't even a high bar to hit. I can't give this movie.
Oh my god. He's so mad he's gone binary.
Yeah,
I can't give it a point for literally anything that it did. I hated this movie. I hated this movie so much I got a migraine that night.
Okay, look, I could just picture it. And here's the thing:
migraine.
Bonzi and I D&D on Saturdays, and our GM is sitting here and he's talking about how his car's in a ditch and there's a blizzard where he lives, and he goes, "I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it tonight," and Bonzi goes, "That's fine. My day's been ruined anyways." And when we ask him, he's like, "Oh, I saw player 1 and it was a piece of shit." And I'm like, this dude could be dead.
Ruined my whole weekend. I'd rather be dead.
Oh my god,
ruined my whole fucking.
Anyway, that was only one of 2 movies, right?
That was only one. I liked the other one. Movie.
Okay, no. I want your review because we already did kind of a mostly a review of it.
Yeah.
So go on, Bonzi. Tell us about the other movie you saw.
You want me to? I don't have a rant for this one, honestly. Black Panther. I liked it. This is honestly, if not in my top 5, I can slide it into slot 6 out of my Marvel movies. I legitimately just enjoyed Black Panther. I thought the cast who was in there did a really good job. I can't point to any one person as being particularly weak. A little long, but let's be fair, more movies nowadays run on the long side than on the short side. And going back and trying to review the movie in my head, I really personally couldn't find a whole lot to trim out of the movie. That's one of my things with a lot of movies that run long these days. I can tell you where I would personally just start chopping scenes out. One of my favorites was BVS. I would have cut out just about all the dream sequences. They really didn't do anything to further the plot of that movie, and you could save yourself about a half hour of movie. Black Panther, I could probably only save you about 10 minutes of movie. They're really, like, I don't know what I would cut personally. My wife said she doesn't like the whole two villain thing, though that's sort of becoming the standard for these superhero movies. And again, not my favorite thing, but I liked both villains.
I did too. I also liked both villains, and I liked how it transferred from one villain to the other.
Right. I thought it worked really well. Like, this was so I usually have two pet peeves in these kind of movies, is sympathizing with the villain too much. I hate that movies nowadays have to give you a reason to go, oh, well, I guess the villain really had he really had odds stacked against him, and I feel really bad. But in this one, I actually liked sympathizing with Killmonger. I thought Killmonger was actually sympathetic, and I like even more that Black Panther himself was like, my dad fucked up. My dad fucked this poor kid, and now I have to step up where my fucking dad failed, and I gotta put this motherfucker down. That's my burden I have to bear. So I like that. And I like the two villains because I thought Claw was a fun villain. One of the things I complain about is I want a villain who's just a villain because he's a villain. I don't want a sympathetic villain. And this movie gave me both. It gave me Claw, who clearly just gets off on doing horrible things, and they show that very well. And they give us Killmonger, who actually is a decent, like, the poor kid was fucked. The kid got screwed by his own people. And even when questioned, why the fuck did you screw that kid? The dad was just like, I just thought it was the right thing to do at the time. He didn't have a good answer to give his son on why he screwed that kid. And I was like, yeah, motherfucker made a mistake, and now his son's got to pay for it. It just fit. I don't know. I thought as far as origin movies go, this was probably stronger than Doctor Strange was. Doctor Strange felt a little bit too much like Iron Man 1, where this really felt like a solid origin movie. So, and to be fair, it had a little bit going for it because we got to do a little bit of his origin in Civil War. So they kind of had that bid to cover some events in another movie, but I mean, that's just good structure. You can't fault this movie for having a decent plan in place before they started filming it, you know? I will say, so now just because I don't want to give it all glowing, here's my negative bits. I did say it was a little too long. My other bit is, this is another movie that suffers from the plot being avoidable. Had T'Challa just explained things to his buddy from the Water Tribe better, I don't think the Water Tribe ever would have turned on him and did what they did. I think had he just taken the time to be like, hey man, I know it looks like this guy helped, but really he set things up for a fall, and oh, by the way, this is why I didn't get that guy, but he told other people why. He didn't tell his friend why, and that just seems a little convenient, and that makes your plot a little bit weaker. You made a plot happen by omitting things where, honestly, this would have just sort of been mostly avoided, not completely, but mostly avoided by having the character explain his point of view.
Well, even when Killmonger was standing there and going, ask me who I am, had he been like, I know who you are. Right.
He says it to Killmonger, but he doesn't say to the rest of these guys. And how do you just turn around like, look, this is the situation? I don't think anybody would have backed Killmonger.
And not even that. Like, let's back it up. This was a movie of conveniences, or I guess sort of contrived. There's many times like there at the end, if ask me who I am, if T'Challa really wanted to, he could have been like, no, get out. Right. And then even before that, back it up before that.
Slightly justified because at first T'Challa wanted to sympathize, and it wasn't until after the fight that he said, okay, we can't sympathize anymore. At first he did. He bought into what the audience was supposed to buy into, which was this guy's tortured. He had the same experience that we did as an audience.
Back that up even before that. When he first comes up when he first shows up with the first villain's body. Claw's body, sorry. Terrible with names. And he goes, I have something for you. What stops them from going, okay, thanks, get the fuck out? Like,
and that's what I mean by explaining it. That's also the same point in time where he could have looked, because remember, he brings it to his buddy, and his buddy's like, that's the fucking dude I'm after. Had he just told his buddy, so when he first comes back from that mission, he tells him the guy got away. He didn't say he got away and bro, some fucking Wakandan was helping him. I feel like his buddy would have been like, oh shit, that's a problem, instead of getting pissed. And then secondly, when the body shows up, had he looked at him and gone, well, yeah, he has the body. He's the dude who was working with him. They all would have gone like, oh, well, this guy's just a piece of shit. You're talking about exactly what I mean. Had he just explained this little fact, a large portion of this plot could have been avoided.
Yeah,
but a lot of movies are guilty of this. It's a pretty common.
I honestly, unfortunately, like I said before, I thought it was okay. I don't think it's nowhere near my top 5. It's
in my top 5.
It is or isn't?
It is in my top 5. I really enjoyed it.
Like I said, if it's not top 5, it takes that 6th slot directly.
But see, not just the movie itself, but like the experience, like because I went on opening night in a crowded theater, you know, and just to like be a part of that crowd was really fun.
See, no, I don't give a fuck about that. I'm tired of hearing about this. See, I don't give a shit. No, I don't give a shit that what audiences thought. I don't give a shit that my biggest issue with it are honestly, not even its fans. Like I have an issue with the fact that even before the movie came out, even before there were previews, it was already heralded as this amazing event and this cultural phenomenon. And I feel like a lot of people gave it higher ratings. I'm not saying you guys, but a lot of people gave it higher ratings because of that. And I just thought it was okay. There were parts where the CGI looked absolutely shit. And
but to be fair, that's most of the Marvel movies. Go look at Thor Ragnarok. Most of the hella fight scenes look like something out of a PS1 game.
No, I don't.
I'll agree
CGI movies are just CGI movies at this point. I don't really take those in considerations. No, I like the movie itself. Like I really enjoyed the movie, enjoyed the ride. I'm just saying that the icing on the cake was that the experience in the theater was also good. You know what I mean?
That does nothing for me. I mean,
well, I looked at it like this, and don't be a dick and read too much into this and call me a fucking white honky piece of shit, whatever.
Well, I grew up do that anyways.
Well, I grew up in a very ethnic community. Most of my friends in my formative years, and when I say formative years, I mean 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade, were not white kids. I can honestly look back. I was actually, weirdly, because I just moved, I was looking through my old yearbook as I was putting stuff away. I had 2 white friends in elementary school. All the rest of my friends were Mexican kids and black kids. When I went to birthday parties as a kid, we weren't eating fucking hot dogs and hamburgers. We were having fucking carnitas and chicharrones. We were fucking, like these are the communities I just grew up in. It's just the way I grew up. And honestly, I think if I was a kid now, and I was more like my friends, I was like Eduardo, I was like my buddy D'Antoine growing up, I would be so happy to finally have a superhero that I can look up to. And don't you dare look at me and try and say Falcon. Falcon's a joke. Falcon knows he's a joke. He's a B-list character in someone else's movie. This is great to finally have not just a black superhero, but an actually good black superhero. Like a black superhero who's actually in a decent movie that somebody actually took the time to craft. And it's not Shaft. It wasn't pandery.
No, but I like Blade. I really liked Blade growing up, dude.
But Blade didn't come out until we were in middle school and high school. The first Blade was rated R, so a lot of kids our age couldn't go to see Blade. I actually remember I saw Blade in the theaters at a young age, but my mom went on a first date, stupid fucking mistake, brought us and brought the guys' kids, and the guys' kids were younger than us, and it freaked them out.
No, but there were others, dude. But there was Men in Black.
That's not a superhero.
No.
Oh, fuck that, dude. They were.
I'm talking
positive role models.
I'm not saying, and that's why I'm not saying positive role models. I'm saying fucking tights, capes, spandex, superhero.
But this guy's fair, there weren't that many superheroes.
Bullshit. We had Batman movies. We had Superman.
What about the original Nick Fury movie?
With fucking
he's talking about good movies. He said good movies.
Hey,
to be fair,
I was talking about superhero movies because you said they were.
We've had Superman movies since the fucking 70s, 80s.
Sure,
since the
but to be fair, here's the thing that I run into a lot is we want to have equal representation in our movies and stuff, right?
And again, you're reading too far into it. Like I said,
I'm just saying
if I was a kid, I would be happy to finally have this movie. I can see young kids of this persuasion, because I'm not allowed to say certain things, but I honestly can say, I would say that if I was a kid growing up these days, I would be really happy to have Black Panther on par with Captain America and Iron Man. You know what?
I guess maybe I was just a naive fucking kid, because honestly, when I saw fucking Batman, I was like, that's fucking Batman. I wasn't like, that's a white guy I can get behind, right?
Well, and I don't think most kids see it that way, but I do think
times
it's
have changed
easier
as well.
Right, times have changed. I think kids are more aware of issues like this because of the internet.
Yeah,
right?
Because of social media and media itself.
And to just have somebody like I saw this was heartbreaking. I saw this thing where they took all these kids and they gave them they took all these little girls and they gave them baby dolls to play with. And almost unanimously, the young black girls chose white baby dolls to play with. And when they asked them why, they said, because that one's bad. They would point at the black baby doll and say, because that one's bad. Like, literally, dude, I watch 5-year-old kids say, the black one's bad. I want to play with the white one. So as unfortunate as it is a thing that's sort of subconsciously in your head. So to now have something so easily penetratable, so easy for them to get into, be like, no, dude,
like,
this is fucking great.
For that, dude. I'd want context.
And what I like even more, and you have to give it credit for this, they didn't make the white guy the villain. There was a white villain, but he was South African. But it was a black dude fighting a black dude who, honestly, they both had sort of the same plan. They both wanted to find a way to help their people, and they just had two different approaches. And I like the idea of not just, look, it's not a Spike Lee film. It's not going, the white man is an evil dickhead who
okay.
This movie had a message of, man, can't we all just put our bullshit away and fucking live life and be alive?
I have a response to that, but I can't say it live on YouTube, goddammit.
Why?
Because
you're brown. You can say whatever you want.
Apparently that's not how it works anymore.
Look, we didn't get shut down for me saying that.
That's true. No, here's my issue. Yeah, you're right. It wasn't a white guy as the villain, but it was everything the white people represent. And the only reason I'm saying it is because the wording that they use within that movie, calling folks colonizers and things like that, like the guy stood.
But look at who is saying that. The dick is saying it. The fucking Black Panther never calls them colonizers. He never says that. His sister
was the one who said it.
Yeah.
Did she?
Yeah. And again, see,
I'd have to go. I always thought once.
Like, my problem, I thought the movie was okay. I think it should be seen as a movie, not as a cultural phenomenon. Was it a movie that had a lot of black actors?
Hey,
yes.
I'm not saying it's a phenomenon. I'm just saying if I was that kid at this point in time, I'd be really happy to have this.
Yeah,
I would appreciate it.
There's one superhero I know of that
Captain America, black best friend with superpowers. Iron Man, black best friend with superpowers. Doctor Strange, Asian best friend with kind of superpowers. We keep making the ethnic guy the little buddy, and for once, the ethnic guy isn't the little buddy. Fucking Ant-Man. Mexican guy is the one who has to help him do everything but doesn't get any powers of his own. The ethnic guy is the comic relief. He's the little fucking Iron Fist. Although I liked it and I didn't agree with what a lot of the people said, we take the Asian girl who does kung fu, we make her the little buddy. They're always playing second fiddle, and it's just nice for once to have the role, have it stand up, and not demonize everybody else, but come out and say, like, hey man, we're all just doing what we can. We're all just doing us.
Yeah, I don't.
It was nice. It was nice.
I didn't hate it. Like I've always said it. I didn't hate it. I hated things about it, and I hated a lot of what people were saying. Like I think my biggest issue was that you couldn't criticize the movie for the movie's sake. As soon as you criticize it, you were automatically the bad guy.
And I think we all did a good job of pointing out flaws in the film. You know, it wasn't perfect. I don't think my favorite movies aren't perfect. No movie's perfect. It has problems, but I still think it's a solid movie. It's better than Iron Man 2.
Oh, well, that's what Iron Man is probably the worst.
Can we all agree that that's the bottom of the Marvel barrel and that this at least did not set a new bottom?
Yeah. No, I agree.
I just watched 1, and then I didn't watch any other Iron Mans.
3 is actually good. A lot of people hate the tilt. I personally don't hate the tilt. My cousin who's watching, I know, is fucking screaming at his screen right now because he hates it. He's fucking furious because he hates it. But 2, you can pass. You can pass.
Oh, dude, my biggest issue with 2 was the twist that wasn't a twist and it was just stupid all along. It just
2 was just bad throughout.
Yeah, no, 2 was bad. 2 was bad.
2 was just bad.
Anyways,
when you got to steal a scene from Biodome, you ain't even trying.
Were they locked in a biodome? I'd watch that.
No, it's Biodome. He's arguing with the parrot and he eats the parrot. And there's a parrot and they kill the parrot. And it's a very Biodome-esque scene. They fuck it.
No.
Iron Man 2 was bad. It was bad. And there's a reason nobody talks about it. It's because it's bad.
Yeah, I just don't know if I would make. I don't know. It's definitely not my top 5.
No. You're talking about Black Panther? Or you're talking about Iron Man 2?
Black Panther. Oh, no. Iron Man 2 is the worst of the MCU.
it's the bottom for me. That's
the worst of the MCU.
I kind of want to watch it now. Not gonna lie.
I mean, maybe we'll come back and we'll do a post Iron Man 2 review because it's pretty bad.
Christ. All right. Anyways, we have 10 minutes left in this show.
Klops, did you want to do a quick late Valerian review because we both watched Valerian and we just talked about it?
Yeah, sure. I haven't watched.
You want to say
theaters? No. I'm pretty sure we can go through it.
There's really not much to say for it, to be honest. There's really not.
Okay.
Give a little background about the movie.
So it's Luc Besson, the guy who did The Fifth Element, coming back to sci-fi. This was supposed to be his big return to sci-fi.
I didn't believe it from the minute.
I wanted to believe it. I mean, you're never going to outdo Lilu Multipass, but I wanted to believe it. I saw Valerian. Yep, some folks who were watching on the live stream saw it. It wasn't bad. I didn't fucking hate it. It's about an hour too long, and a lot of it could be trimmed.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I did like all the alien races. I'll say that. He did do a good job with that. But that's what he's known for, kind of thing. I wish Star Wars would do something like that.
Yep, I'll agree with you there.
But other than that, I don't know. I just felt like the movie itself was just kind of like a C-written movie, a C-B movie, just right off the bat from the writing.
There was one part, and I'd have to watch it again. When it was fresh, I could have done a whole rant on this opening scene. Forgive me if it's a little fuzzy for me right now, but there's this opening scene where they decide to do something as exposition when it was so easy to write it in naturally, and they just took the lazy way out. And in a movie that's almost 3 hours long, to take the lazy way out on anything and just do it as exposition, it's fucking painful, dude.
Okay, can someone give me the plot? Because I didn't see it and I know nothing about it.
So the plot is basically there's this, they're like space cops.
Yeah. More like special forces.
Well, here, let's back it up even more.
They're like the space secret service.
So the Earth finally stops being petty bitches, and we make the International Space Station this place where literally every country can come together, right? So every country in the world adds a chunk onto the International Space Station. Then, once it gets to this first size, we make first contact, and an alien race adds a chunk onto the space station. Then more alien races add chunks onto the International Space Station. And then finally the space station gets so big it's fucking up the gravitational pull of the Earth, so they send it off into space. But while it's floating through space, more new alien races keep adding on and adding on and adding on until it's literally a planet made of individual space stations from tons of different races throughout the galaxy.
Okay.
So Valerian is looking for plot phlebotinum on this planet. And what we slowly find out is that plot phlebotinum is also this other thing, which is also this political espionage, which is also a third thing. I can't tell you too much without spoiling huge plot, right? And the Claire Enchantress, she's in it. She does a good job.
Yeah.
The main kid who looks like he was born to be a serial killer, he does a good job. I can't think of his real name. It's not a bad movie. It's just not a good movie. I mean, really, it's just entirely too long. It's pretty generic. Nothing really incredible happens.
Yeah, there's a totally bet.
Yeah, and there's a totally forced spot just so we can put Rihanna in the film. You could have cut her out completely, and it would have made no difference on this movie. Yeah, she adds nothing. She adds a small musical number and a little bit of plot fuel for a chunk of the plot that you could have skipped.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Klops, you got anything to add on to that?
It's been a long time since I've seen Valerian actually, but I just remember watching that movie and going, this is gonna happen.
And then it did.
Now this is gonna happen. Now this is gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm glad
than Jupiter Ascending, though.
It's better than sitting 2 hours in traffic.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than a swift kick to the testicles, which I can't say for Ready Player One.
All right, and on that note, give me a rating there, Bonzi.
I'll give it a 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
What?
Different alien races out of different alien races.
Yeah, I'll give it 5 Claire, the Enchantress, in a bikini out of 10.
Okay. Was that
eyebrows? I'm just gonna call her eyebrows. I'm gonna give it 5 eyebrows in a bikini out of 10.
Is that a Suicide Squad reference?
Yeah, it's the same girl. It's the same girl.
Oh, I know. Still gross.
And she's not doing weird backwards dance moves that are played.
Which would have made it better, honestly. They would have got 6 out of 10 for me.
I cannot say that adding anything from the Suicide Squad to any other movie will improve any other movie.
Yeah, that's why when you brought it up, I was like, oh, that's gross.
See, even even the audience who is watching live is rating it 5 out of 10. That's what this movie is.
Yeah, it's just
it's middle of the road.
Yeah, it's okay to have. Just I wouldn't spend a lot of money on it. Wait till it's like $5.
Yeah, get it in a bargain bin. Don't get the blue. Maybe get the Blu-ray just because the effects, but wait till it's in a bargain bin.
I was just gonna wait till it came on Netflix or something.
Yeah,
that too.
Watch it there. Yeah. All right, that brings us to the end of the show. There are other things to talk about. There's always other things to talk about, but we are done for today. If you want to hear the whole recording with us, there's that. Shut up. If you want to hear the whole recording, us fumbling in the beginning, you can find us on iTunes. This will be up soonish. If you want to check out Podbean, we're also on there. On Tuesdays, we do streaming on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/Metagame Network. That is our non-pre-recorded, non-gaming.
It's live.
It's our live gaming session.
We do multiplayer.
We all hate each other and make everything personal.
That's true. We were potentially going to do either some more tankiness or Warframe. We're not sure.
Nope.
Sometimes we just throw some random shit in there.
I think we promised some people tanks next week, so Warframe will. We promised people tanks this week, so Warframe will probably be next week.
Oh, okay. I thought tanks were last week. Yeah, I wasn't there.
They were last week, but there were some people who actually joined in, and they joined in late, so they got 1 or 2 rounds with us. So tanks will be this week.
Sounds good. We are going to continue to try to do this YouTube live thing. Maybe we'll be on Twitch and YouTube tomorrow. I don't know.
Maybe. We're working on it.
We got to figure some shit out.
Technical difficulties. Some assembly required.
All right, and on that note, final words, Bonzi.
Seriously, don't bother with fucking Ready Player One. Don't even rent it. Don't fucking watch it drunk on a bet. It's a pile of shit. It's pandery nonsense.
Flops.
Watch Ready Player One on a drunken bet. It'd be fun.
It's pandery nonsense.
Honestly, dude. Get stoned and watch Player One. That's what I suggest.
No.
All right. And on that note, we're going to say bye to everybody on the recording.
Bye.
Yeah, everybody on the recording.
And goodbye to everybody in the stream. We'll see you guys whenever the fuck we show up again.
Double bye.
Yeah, we'll try to do it next week.